3 years ago on this night, we were showing you images from a candlelight vigil in memory of murder victim Shannon Graves.
Recently, we investigated the crime and how it affected the people left behind. First News senior reporter Jerry Ricciuti covered the story, and tonight has this special report.
Although Shannon Graves disappeared in February of 2017, her friends and family knew something was very wrong.
I had so many people contacting me, just random people I didn't even know, and saying, I'm one of Shannon's friends and we want to help.
In July of that year, some of Shannon's dismembered remains were discovered stuffed into a freezer at a house in Camel. Shannon's one-time boyfriend, Arturo Novoa, and Katrina Layton were quickly arrested, and Layton pleads guilty to tampering with evidence and obstruction. But Shannon's sister, Debbie DePaul, is convinced others were also involved, but can't get investigators to listen.
Not at all. At the time, they didn't want to hear anything we had to say.
Then, a year later, an assistant special prosecutor was sent from the Ohio Attorney General's office and starts looking into Novoa's jailhouse phone calls.
And although Arturo Novoa was pretty smart about what he talked about, he wasn't smart about who he talked about.
That led to searches of Facebook pages and the discovery of a number of old cell phones dumped along the curb outside Shannon's old apartment building. As the phones are analyzed, evidence points to two others, Andrew Herman and his wife, Michelle Eilenfeld, and brings about a new and much larger indictment against Novoa.
When we did that re-indictment, we got a barrage of Facebook messages, phone calls.
With terabytes of information now collected by investigators, Novoa pleads guilty to killing Shannon. In court, Caceres tells the judge Novoa hit the victim in the head with a hammer. Her body was then dismembered and dipped in acid before being burned in a bonfire. Although Novoa is given a life sentence, the case is far from over. Evidence shows Novoa and Layton were still talking with each other even after Novoa was imprisoned.
And the phones allow us to get Katrina's, Layton's plea deal pulled.
Layton is eventually sentenced to 18 years in prison. Herman and Eilenfeld are also convicted for their roles in the scheme. Caceres tells me the motive is just as convoluted as the case itself. He calls Novoa a pathetic drug dealer who was jealous of Shannon's money and possessions, adding Layton wanted Novoa for herself. Caceres says at one point he asked Novoa why he didn't just dump the body into one of the area lakes.
And he said, well, sooner or later the body would have floated up and somebody would have pinned it on me. And I said, it's pinned on you now.
That could leave Novoa behind bars for the rest of his life and give Shannon's sister and brother some sense of justice. Jerry Ricciuti, WKBN 27 First News.